I'll let y'all know. What up, world? It's Mac. Tell me something slick and make it stick. Yes, I am back for another exciting episode of the Purple Panties. And you know, we got her back. We pulled her ass back from Mexico somehow, some way. She's back in the building, vacation and ready to tell us all about the hell what's going on down there. We got y'all America's favorite teacher, Tammy G, in the building. And of course, I got the one, the only. God broke the mold when he made this one as well. Kiki from Brooklyn in the building.
Oh, let me not throw gang signs.
Nah, please. Let's keep the gang signs. Man, I've been known as a sex channel. Now I don't better be known as a...
That was the beef for Brooklyn, but I thought about it.
Okay, all right. You said what? What's that, Tam?
I was trying to throw up a beat. I don't.
Oh, you threw the beat? Oh, okay.
You would have just looked through people.
Oh my god. All right.
You know.
Okay.
Oh god.
Kiki, we can review what you been up to this week. I know it's been some personal challenges. I know some stuff behind the scenes, but outside of that, how was the week, man?
I've been good. I actually did go out this week, you know. Somebody invited me out, so I went out, got me a few drinks, more than I should have. And that's kind of my daughter. She didn't have school Thursday and Friday, so I was just like, might as well go out on Wednesday before I have to be stuck in the house with her for the next 2 days. And that's kind of really it. It was a short week for me.
Okay.
Nothing going on.
I always love when you go out and you do shit because your stories always tell whatever you're doing. I never again will I be drinking and forget what day it is. Like your stories is gonna tell everything, goddamn it, everything.
I had mimosas, I had Hennessy, I had anything was happening at that point. I was drunk. I don't even remember how I made it upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
But today is Chardonnay. It's a Chardonnay Friday.
It's a Chardonnay Friday. And water.
Yeah, please, ma'am. Can we get you some water? I need you to keep them kidneys, please, and thank you. All right.
What about you?
Tam Chisel, you're back in the building. The people want to know. How was vacay? How wasn't it great? What you like? You didn't like? What's going on with Tammy G since the last time we talked to you?
So I turned 35.
Hey.
This is 35.
All right. Killing it.
Looking 25.
You do.
Yeah, so my birthday was Monday. I was in Mexico. I did a photo shoot that Sunday. I dropped those pictures. They're on my IG. So if y'all want to see those, they're on my IG. I have another photo shoot I'm gonna do later on. That was I was supposed to do before, but my photographer canceled on me. And I was in Mexico and I swam in a cenote and I went on a ATV and I did tequila tasting and I drank a lot of alcohol and a lot of carbs and did homework. And that's pretty much my week in a nutshell. Oh, so guys, they actually announced today who America's favorite teacher is, who actually won the competition.
Mm-hmm. Who was it? Not that I would know.
It's some white dude named Kelby. I don't know. He said he's been teaching 30 years. He started off as a pastor. So I said, I ain't going to be mad because at least Jesus won. Amen. So that's
I would have said that.
So a white dude.
I needed that, buddy.
A white dude named Kelby. All right. But Taylor, you made it to the quarterfinals, right? You got pretty far, though.
I did.
That was good, Tom. That's good. So next year is your year. They do it every year, obviously.
I don't know if I'll be participating next year. It was stressful.
Too stressful. Okay.
What you been up to, Matt, this week?
Man, great interviews, great content. Staying low key, staying out the way. Politicking, networking. Sliding through Atlanta streets when I have time and seeing what's out here.
Talk about sliding. Oh, the DMs that I've been getting, guys. The D and the M.
Girl.
Your DMs been popping? Tam, you ain't been telling me about the DMs been popping.
It's the blonde hair. This puts them every time. I don't know. I was actually last Friday, when we got off, I had to leave y'all because my phone was dying. I had to go to the grocery store. I went to the grocery store and I met a dude who was just like that.
You just like that.
Girl, somebody out here making fake Facebook pages and everything of me. I don't know what's going on with this.
Yeah, Kiki famous now, y'all. People they doing fake pages of her now.
I wish, but no. I've been trying to get it taken down because that's weird.
Hey, Robin.
Hey, Robin. Welcome back.
Thank you. How you guys doing?
Good, Robin. How the hell was Italy? What was happening over there? I mean, so where's Walter Lee? Where is his ass at?
I went to Greece too, so you know.
We want to hear about the trip.
Right.
Greece was amazing, except for, a couple things over there was a little crazy to me. I don't think they too particularly care for us over there, but Greece was cool. The weather was amazing. I don't think nobody work over there because they be doing stuff late. I'm talking about they was eating dinner at like 11, 12 o'clock at night, midnight. Everybody, the restaurants was packed at midnight. Like, for real. They over there living their best life over there. While we over here just existed. Like,
we living in the wrong state.
Yeah.
Country.
And then they have so in Greece, which this was the first time I experienced this, but when we got to the apartment that we were staying in, because we was in Athens, and we got in there, and I'm like, okay, get in the bathroom, and it had like this little note on the trash can that said, don't put paper in the toilet. And I'm like, what? Don't put paper in the toilet? And I'm thinking, this is unsanitary, gotta be. So you can't, they have issues with their piping system over there, so you can't flush the toilet paper in the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome
to my life. I lived like that for 3 years in Korea. They don't flush the toilet tissue in Korea either.
No, that's disgusting. So we was over there, but we had an amazing time in Greece. We were there for like 4 days. Then we flew back to Rome. That was my second time in Rome. I walked so much in them last 10 days. I said, dang, I should be skinny by the time I get. I'm just saying. By the time I get back. But yeah, the weather was nice. I went to Tuscany when I was in Italy this time. So that was amazing as well. So Italy was good to me again. So, I'm about going across the waters over that way. So yeah, it was cool.
That sounds like fun.
Was it? You seem happy.
Oh yeah, it was good. 10 days. I wanted to be gone longer, but the people that was traveling with me couldn't, they couldn't be gone that long. I had plenty of time. I could have been gone a month if I wanted to be, but they couldn't be gone that long. So just saying.
Well, good. Welcome back.
Vacation. We was in here. I was bored.
You said what, Kiki?
I said they both was on vacation. I was in here bored.
Yeah. They've been doing their thing. Both of them was out living their best life. All right, ladies, let's get into the topic. While we got people still filing in, we'll get to it. All right, today's topic is a little bit interesting. It's cracking the code: love languages or love insecurities. Interesting spin on this. So I'm gonna kick this first one off, and I'm gonna come to you on this one, Tammy. Of course, you got the glow. Niggas is on you popping right now. You in the algorithm. The DMs is blowing up. I gotta get it while it's going, mama. Okay, how do we distinguish between expressing a love language and seeking reassurance due to someone's insecurity? I say again, how do we distinguish between expressing a love language and seeking and the difference between seeking reassurance due to somebody's insecurity?
I'm starting.
You are starting.
Please do.
I thought you said you was gonna kick it off though.
Nah, I said Tam G. I threw the lob at Tam G.
Okay, so I think when we're talking about this from a psychological standpoint, I need y'all to understand what we mean when we mean love languages. There are 5 love languages. It's a book that was done several years ago, maybe like 20 years ago, by Gary Chapman, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Gary Chapman. I want to say that's his name. 5 love languages. And there are, yeah, that's his name. Look, I be knowing books. I'm so smart. Anyway, so there are 5 distinguished love languages. Those 5 love languages are acts of service,
Mm-hmm.
quality time,
Mm-hmm.
physical touch, gifts, and words of affirmation. Those are the 5 love languages, right? So I think that when we say things like "you're not loving me in my love language," we're not, and we're talking about something that's not those 5 things. You're using that love language terminology incorrectly. That's the first thing. Okay, and then as an individual human, it is your responsibility to understand your own love language. I don't know if that makes sense, but you have to understand how you want to be loved, because a lot of people, specifically women, I'll say this, specifically women, a lot of people get in relationships with people and they want the person that they with to just read their freaking mind and just know what to do.
Mhm.
Like, I just want to know what to do. Like, no, that's not how it works. You have to know how you want to receive love from your partner, and you need to be able to express that to them and communicate that to them adequately. Okay. And so when I think when you get into that portion of where it seems insecure and you're speaking in that language that we're talking about when we're talking about love languages, right? And somebody refuses to do it and it feels like you're begging the person to do it, that's when you get into it's feeling like it's insecure. And it may or may not be insecure. It may be the person trying to reinforce, well, this is what I would like for you to do, this is how it would feel loved, this is how I would feel appreciated, but the other person's refusing to do it. And if at that point, I think that's a relationship you should get out of, because that person is not hearing you, is not trying to love you intentionally. But that's neither here nor there. But if anybody's using the terminology love languages and they're not talking about acts of service, physical touch, words of affirmation, um what else, the other ones I just said, they are using that
Get you.
terminology correctly. Okay, you can't say my love language is food. That's not. No. Now, if you appreciate somebody just thinking, oh, you're gonna be hungry, let me buy them some food. That is what we would call an act of service. They did something to lighten your burden. Okay, but people need to understand that. And so for me, I would just suggest that everybody take the test for themselves. And the thing is, your love language can change over time. Like for me, I know my love language is quality time and acts of service. Period. Point blank.
Okay.
Now you get with the right person and you're locked in with them, then it might become physical touch. It might become gifts because of how intentionally they gift you. It might be words of affirmation. But knowing what your primary love language is very important, because it helps when you're dealing with a person. It helps guide them on how to love you. Now, I don't think you should just go off the bat telling people that information, because people can pretend to be. That's a whole other thing. But yeah, anyway, those are my thoughts on that. I don't always think it's insecurity. I think it's when I think it. I think people show insecurities in different ways, but when we're talking about love languages, I don't think love languages and insecurity are synonyms. I don't think they go hand in hand. All right, I'm gonna stop talking now.
Good stuff. All right, good stuff. Fresh from overseas. Robin, what's your take on that?
I mean, I kind of feel like I'm gonna take a different approach.
Okay.
I'm gonna tackle the insecurity part first, because honestly, when someone displays insecurities, if you have to reassure or
Mm.
reaffirm those insecurities in an individual, um honestly, that's something that you have to tackle right off the bat. You have to know what you want to tolerate or deal with from the very beginning. And most people display those from the beginning,
Mm.
basically.
Mm.
And that's just my personal opinion.
Okay.
And you have to know what you're going to tolerate, you know. And I just kind of feel like a lot of times, um, if you have trust issues,
Mm.
it ain't gonna matter what you do.
Okay.
You can affirm, you can have acts of service, you can spend quality time, you can tell a person that they beautiful or they handsome or whatever the case might be. You can do them 5 love languages all day, every day, 20 times a day. You can text until the cows come home, until
True.
you purple in the face.
True.
But if they got trust issues,
They got trust issues.
they got trust issues.
That's a
That's a
fact.
red flag all day, every day.
That's real.
And no act of service is going to reassure that insecurity that's within them already. Because now, who wants to have to reassure someone that has trust issues? You need to deal with the root issue first before you talk about the whole love language. If I got to reassure your trust issue, then I don't really want to know. I don't know that I want to carry or deal with that burden or deal with that baggage, because that's baggage that you're bringing into the situation right off the bat. That means you're checking every time I'm not in your face. You're calling to say, well, where you at? What you doing? Who you with? You asking me 1,001 questions. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want somebody checking for me.
Right.
I don't want to have to reassure your insecurities because you have an issue because somebody did you wrong and you got this woe is me type situation going on here because you haven't dealt with that. And so I just kind of feel like whatever those issues that you might be having or that there's a lack thereof, deal with those first. And then you can, you can introduce the love languages into the equation. But you can't introduce a love language in the equation because you teach people how to treat you from the very beginning. But if you got all these other issues that you have baggage coming into the equation right off the bat, you trying to deal with all that stuff first. How can you even introduce what your love language is if you got to deal with all the excess baggage that's already done came into the equation? So that's my take on it.
I love it. Okay. So, Kiki, just to refresh the question for you, how do you distinguish between expressing a love language and seeking reassurance due to an insecurity?
Oh man. I mean, I agree with what Tammy and what Robin said. I just kind of feel like sometimes when people they may feel like, I guess, like rejected. Let's say, I don't really know how to really put it. Like I feel like if someone is not showing you, I guess, what your love language is, like they stated, like the physical touch and all of these other things like that. I feel like that's when sometimes people's insecurities come into play. They start questioning either themselves or, vice versa. And I mean, they summed it up really, really well. And that's kind of like, that's just how I feel about the situation.
Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff, ladies. Now, this
Can I-
next question.
Hold
Go
on,
ahead.
wait, can I add something to that? So I think that we're focusing on the love language terminology, but I think what's more important here when we're talking about insecurity is not so much your love language per se. I think that's more an attachment style issue. I don't know if that makes sense, but there are 4 attachment styles, right?
Okay.
You got the anxious, you got the avoidant, you got the disorganized, and you have the secure. The problem we're talking about the insecure people is that they have those first three attachment styles. They're either anxious about their relationship, they're avoidant about that's why you have them nonchalant ass people that don't ever, or they're disorganized. Okay, their relationships cause them both desire for that person and fear that they're gonna mess it up. Those are those people that self-sabotage relationships because they waiting for that other shoe to drop. So I think when those insecurities are coming in, that's not so much a love language issue as much as it is an attachment style issue, how they attach to the people that they date. But all right, that's all I gotta say.
No, that's good. That's a good addendum, Tam.
I do have a question though.
Go ahead, Kiki.
When it comes to the insecurity aspect, just for clarification for me, and when it comes to the love language, like it is I don't know. I feel like it's kind of difficult for me to like when she said the people who detach themselves, that's me, big time.
Okay.
So how do you know? I mean, like, how do you know that you're like gonna feel insecure about, dealing with somebody like that? Like when you're in a relationship.
So when you're talking about attachment styles, your attachment styles are not just even in relationships. These are literally how you attach to people in general. Okay. Usually it's focused on how you've dealt with people. So for me, there was a time period where I had an anxious attachment style. I had a fear of abandonment, right? Been abandoned by a lot of people in my life. I had a fear of
relate to
abandonment.
that.
So what you do when you have a fear of abandonment, you attach to whatever is close to you. You attach to whatever you can. And so that's that anxious attachment. Like I gotta attach, I gotta make this decision right now. If I don't let him do, if I don't do this right now, if he don't know, and you can't just be calm in your own energy. So it's really just knowing. You kind of just gotta, there are tests that you can take to figure out what your attachment style is. Like they have literal, these are like, I don't want to say clinical, but like literal tests that you can take to kind of figure out where you are. But it's kind of knowing how you attach and why you attach that way. Because that's really where the work part comes in.
That trauma.
When you know why you attach that way, then you can kind of figure out your triggers before you are attaching to somebody that you're not even supposed to be attached to, because of they mirror your natural attachment style, if that makes sense. So
I feel like you would associate that somewhat with a trauma. Like when you for me, the shit that I went through with my husband, my ex, whatever, when I went through stuff with him, when I decided, okay, I'm gonna start dating, it was kind of like, I mean, I'm gonna just take what, you know what I'm saying, like what I could get in a sense. I don't know. But I feel like it's kind of attached to trauma in a sense a little bit.
I honestly don't. I feel like a lot of times, especially within the Black communities, we shy away from the whole counseling and different things like that or whatever, because you don't want people all in your business and different things like that or whatever. The problem that I have with, and I'm learning this as I get older, that you have to take time in between, whether it's a friendship or relationship, whatever situationship, whatever ship you own or in,
right?
Because it be some ships, you have to take time in between that for yourself. And sometimes it just be a matter of you sitting with you.
You gotta heal.
Sitting with you. Stop going from this ship to that ship.
Come on now.
Because you gotta take some time. Because sometimes that you go from one ship to this ship, and in between that, it's a sinking ship.
Right.
And you never give yourself time. So you take in something from this into that, and then you're carrying something from this and that into something else. So you just constantly going from this to this to this to this, and then you damaging not only yourself, but you damaging the other person, and then you're penalizing everybody else along the way. And then, but you haven't healed from the last two ships that you've been in, right? And so honestly, I just feel like you just have to learn how to take some time out to just sit with you. And most people don't like sitting with themselves because that makes them uncomfortable. Sometimes it just means you being uncomfortable long enough to see, okay, what do I need to deal with? What is it that I don't like? What is it that causes me to do this? Why am I responding this way? Why am I not dealing with this like this? And most people don't want to do that. So honestly, you just have to take some time out for yourself to see, why are you triggered by that? What's making this, what's bringing this out of you? And a lot of times people can say stuff to you that causes something to to spark something in you from
Yeah.
a time before that makes
Yeah.
you think about something from your past or whatever the case might be. But again, we go from one thing to the next thing without having some time in between there. And we don't want to do the whole counseling thing because we don't want people looking at us all crazy. But you should. It's there for a reason.
That's true.
It's helpful.
I went to
That's
counseling, and it is definitely better than talking to people that you talk. When I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just go to the therapy or whatever. I'm gonna just talk. As soon as I sat on the chair, I just started crying. I was like, and then when I was 5, like I was like, it was
right.
just so much like built-in stuff. So therapy is definitely something that everybody should do. I did stop, but I think I am gonna start going back. I think that when people are in like really long-term relationships too, well, for me anyway, I'm only speaking for myself. When I was with my ex for like 10 years or whatever the case may be, when we broke up, it was very hard for me to be alone because I was never alone. Like I went from my mom's house to then moved in with him. So I was like, oh my God, I need to find me a man so I won't be by myself. Like I'm gonna be lonely. Then I was like, when the situation shifts didn't work out, I'm like, now I need to figure out myself. I need to, learn to be alone, just focus on my kid, focus on myself, heal, and move on. And I've been by myself for 3 years now.
I want to Tammy and Robin both say, and Kiki, I'm thank you for bringing that up. That's a great question to ask about that kind of attachment. Tam, let's drill down to that. And you and me, Tam, suffer that same type of trauma bond. I have anxiety. I realized my anxiety came from abandonment with my mom. Like when I was a kid, my mom would tell me, "Hey, I'm coming to pick you up to get you," and goddamn, I'm sitting on the front porch for 6, 7 hours waiting for her to show up, and she never shows up. And this shit goes on for years until finally my great grandmother was like, "You better stay your ass away from him." But that had already started that anxiety of, man, this ain't man, of this ain't gonna work. Or I better get this and hold on to it. So that did create an insecurity within me of just I'm anxious because I'm used to being let down. And so Tammy, thank you for saying that I realize that's where my anxiety comes from. That's why I meditate to handle that anxiety because again, mother effers have let me down a lot in my life. So thank you, Tammy, for saying that. Good stuff, Robin. All right, ladies, this next one I'm going to kick off. It says, can the need for specific love languages stem from past experiences or traumas? Going right segue to what I just said. Yes, because for me, with the whole abandonment issues from my mom, I realized that I was looking for women to give me affirmation and reassurance. Because any moment now, y'all, I'm thinking, all right, this shit about to go left. If my mama goddamn didn't show up for me, your ass ain't gonna show up for me. Now these women that got nothing to do with your mama, but you're bringing that trauma that started when your little Mac was 6 to about 11, and you're pushing people away. So my love language, which really to Tammy's point, drill down further, my insecurity attachment was really anxiety. So yes, I'm gonna go ahead and I want Robin to tackle that one first. Can the need for specific love languages stem from past experiences or traumas?
I would agree with you and say yes, because I mean, for me, I struggled with rejection for
Yeah.
myself
Okay.
personally,
Okay.
actually, and I equated everything with that. So
Mm,
anytime a relationship did not work out, you know, and I I equated that with I wasn't enough, or
mm,
I,
mm.
I didn't look the way that somebody else looked, or, I wasn't valued the way that somebody else, if he cheated, or, my worth wasn't, just different things like that. So my self-confidence, went to an all-time low. And so, for me, it wasn't about looking for the next man, or finding
Mm,
comfort in
mm.
food or different things like that. But I will tell you that
That's good.
um I got involved in you know, a relationship with someone that truly, you know, he was a narcissist.
Okay.
And if you know anything about a narcissist,
I
you know,
do.
they think only about themselves, right? And
Mhm.
so it had got so bad that I literally had to just tell him one day, like, do you ever stop to just do you be quiet long enough to think
No.
about somebody else
No.
other than yourself?
No, they don't.
And he literally got so quiet that I shut him down in just a few seconds. I said, do you understand that I do have a voice?
Mm.
And if you would sit still and be quiet long enough to hear,
Mm.
I am a lot smarter than you give me credit for being. And so, but you know, a lot of times though, when you give that person that or someone in general that type of or level of control over your life like that, because you lose yourself. And that's exactly what happened with me. So anytime someone basically did not give me what I felt like I needed,
Okay. Okay.
there was that word rejection. And that came in a lot of different forms for me, whether it was a friendship, whether it was a relationship. And so I lost myself for years. And now at 52, I'm reclaiming a lot of different things. So no, you don't get to, unless you're invited, you don't get to come and sit at the table with me.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to you don't get to do a lot of different things with me. So I'm gonna match your energy. Whatever you bring in, I'm a reciprocate it. You see what I'm saying? And so your level of petty and my level of petty might be two different levels. And I'm gonna beat you at that. You see what I'm saying? And so again, it's different now than what it was then. So and that was only because I had to recognize and realize that I am valuable and I'm
Come on.
worth a lot more than you could ever even think or imagine. And then I had to remember who I was in the process. And so it's just like peeling back layers. So basically, yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. And I dealt with rejection. So,
That's real,
yeah.
y'all. That's real.
So yeah.
Good stuff. I'm gonna go to Kiki on this one. I'm gonna let Tam close it out. Kiki, the question is again, can the need for specific love languages, like we just said, like mine was affirmation because of anxiety and Robin rejection, stem from past experiences or traumas? And and you always have been open and honest about your traumas as well.
Yeah, I just felt as though dealing with my ex, this is a different ex. Like when you share certain things with someone and you let them know, like, listen, this is how I feel because maybe this happened to me with my father. Oh, the same thing about, oh, I'm gonna come and pick you up. They never show up, or that whole rejection or not feeling love or wanted. And I would tell somebody I'm thinking I can trust. Um, these deep dark secrets that I kept for myself because it's hard to open up to people, and then you turn around and everything that I told you, you tried to turn it back around on me and make me feel as though like I'm not wanted, I'm not loved, and it put me in like a real effed up. About to curse. It put me
That's
in a
our
real
favorite word. We know we love them F
like
bombs over here.
I'm learning. No, it put me in a real bad situation. So I definitely do feel as though when you deal with past experiences, it do show you things in the future, and it's really effed up how people just are, and it really sucks. Like, it's so hard not to say that F for you,
I know because it's
and
so
it's messed up.
fitting.
It really, I don't know, but yeah, it's real. I agree with you, Robin. That reassurance, all of that. I've been through it. I felt it, and like I said, it's even worse when you tell somebody what you've been through and how you want to be treated. Because again, like y'all said, you can't expect for people to just know off the bat. So I feel like for me, I always go on with like a little disclaimer, and I
Go ahead.
tell you and then you turn and you do that shit, it's crazy to me. Stuff like that. That's why I got locked up. But, you know, I agree with both you guys, and it's you know, I guess it is what it is. But with every experience that I've ever dealt with, I'm just learning just now how to deal with everything in my life, in my 32 years.
Good stuff, King. Tam, close that one out.
I'm sorry, you got to repeat the question.
I know we went deep. It says, can the need for specific love languages stem from past experiences or traumas?
100%. Okay, so as I previously stated, you generally have two primary forms of love languages that you gravitate towards. My two are quality time and acts of service. Okay, the reason why my two love languages are quality time and acts of service is because when my mom and my dad got divorced when I was 5 years old, I became an adult. Like people, I don't think you think about it that way sometimes, but it became just me and my mama for real. And I don't know if I've told my story on this platform before, but I experienced countless evictions when I lived with my mama. Countless. Like I can tell you how many times I came home from school and all of our stuff would be out there on the floor. Wow. And so when you are dealing with an adult who cannot care for you, you have to find ways to care for yourself. So it makes it where your life is harder than it should be as a child. Like your life is harder than it should be. And just to fast forward, that's early childhood. Just to fast forward, later on, once my dad passed away, because when I moved, when I got into the 9th grade, I moved with my dad. Okay. We got evicted for the umpteenth time. And my mom asked me, do you want to stay with me or you want to go with your daddy? And I said, I'm going with my daddy. I can't do this no more. It's too much. I'm in high school. I'm trying to get my stuff together, right? Yeah. So I moved my dad. My dad died at the end of my junior year, right? So my senior year, I'm not in district to go to the school that I attend. I have to live with my mama. She's in district for Stone Mountain. I went to Miller Grove. I'm the student council vice president. I'm the president of all these different clubs. I had to go to that school. So that year, my senior year of high school, I had to catch 2 buses to get to school. I had to wake up at 4:00 in the morning. Wow. And I had to catch the bus to get to school on time because she wouldn't take me at one point, even though she had a car, right? And then her car got repoed, of course, and then I really had to catch the bus. And then in the middle of my senior year, we didn't have hot water. We didn't have water at first at all at one point, but then we didn't have hot water. So I would wake up every morning, put 3 big pots of water on the stove, and I had to boil those pots of water and take a bath. This is me at 16, 17 years old. So when we're talking about me having it being attached to my life, baby, I need acts of service. I need to know that you're going to serve me, make my life easier. That's important to me because I've lived hard already. I don't want to go back to living hard. I'm not trying to go back to living hard. I've done that already. I've been there, done that. I can write a book about it. So that's why acts of service is very important to me because, even right now, I haven't eaten dinner yet. You know why? I've been doing homework all damn day. I woke up at 4:00 this morning, went to the gym, came home, cooked myself some breakfast, washed a load of clothes, and sat down in front of my computer and did homework. And babe, I know you've been doing homework already today. I got I Uber eat you some food. Just because I did. You know what I'm saying? That's why acts of service is so important to me. But then you have quality time. Okay. And quality time is attached to my childhood as well. Okay. Quality time is attached to the fact that my brother is 14 years older than me. 13 years older than me, right? Okay. And of course, we didn't that's not the homie. Like, that's the homie now, but like, that's not the homie. We didn't hang up. I mean, we didn't grow out. By the time I got of all age, he was out the house, right? So it was just me and my mama. That meant a lot of alone time I had to myself, playing with dolls by myself, almost like an only child, even though I got 4 brothers, but only one of them lived in the house with me because we all got different moms, right? So for me, when you take time out of your schedule to schedule something important for both of us to spend that quality time with me, quality over quantity. It don't gotta be a long period of time. Just quality time with me. Those things are important to me because I've had people, throw things they do for me back in my face, gifts and things of that nature. I don't care too much about gifts. Is a gift nice? Yes, a gift is cool, but what's that quality time that is attached to that? Like, what is that? What, like that? The quality time is way more important to me than any gift anybody can give me. I give myself gifts. As a matter of fact, my best gift giver that I've ever had. I give myself the best gifts. Okay, I just took myself on a whole last trip to another country. Okay, best gift giver that I know. But those things are important to me, and they definitely are attached to trauma from my childhood, and just not even trauma from my childhood, just even adulthood. Like, I graduated from college, and my family went down to Huntsville, and they went out to eat after the graduation without me. Like,
to your graduation without you?
Right.
After graduation without me. And I bring this up to them all the time, and they be like, "Oh, we must have just been hungry." No, that was effed up. Like you said, that was effed up.
Very effed up.
I lived in Kuwait for years, and I would come home, and nobody would be happy or excited that I'm coming home. Nobody would throw me a welcome back home party or anything. I graduated from high school. Me and my cousin graduated the same day. My family left my graduation, mid-graduation, to go to my cousin's graduation party. At the end of my graduation, and I was top 10% of my class. I was on stage. I gave a speech. I told you I was vice president of the whole school. Gave a speech. At the end of my graduation, the rest of my family, there were only 3 people there: my mama, my auntie, and my brother. Okay, this is energy. This is real life things that happen to me. So yes, when I'm dealing with somebody that I'm trying to deal with on an intimate level, the quality time is extremely important and necessary. Make my life easier and give me your time. That's it. That's all I really care about.
Wow.
That story was so sad.
I know, man. Tam, you've been through it too. But Tam, don't blink. Don't go on with the food yet, because this is a Tammy G question, and I'm gonna explain to this next one, because this is a good one. But I'm coming right back. I know. Get you a couple sips of water in, but I'm coming right back to you, because you have a lot of male friends. The question I want to ask: do our love languages needed in platonic relationships? Do you need them love languages in platonic relationships? Go ahead, Tam. I know.
1000%. Oh, and like, y'all don't understand. So y'all don't know, my master's degree is in educational psychology. I've studied a lot of this stuff for years. I have a master's in this stuff. So I think basically we were all like in our senior year at undergrad, and we were doing these tests. We were doing these tests, these Pavlov tests, all these different like psychological tests to kind of figure out who we were, because we knew we were going out into the world, and we knew that who you are in college is not necessarily who you are outside of college. When you're around people that think the same way as you, got the same thing, you kind of assimilate sometimes. And so we were trying to figure out who we were, and we took all these tests, but what I was taking the test for, and what I wanted to know their answers for, is because I wanted to love my friends with intentionality. Like, that's one of my callings in life. Like, I know that God has called me to love people with intentionality. And so you do that by knowing their love language. You do that by acknowledging their triggers, right? I have a kid. I had a friend, and my friend has a skin disorder. I will never insult him using his skin disorder. That's a sore point for him. Why would I do that? You know what I'm saying? I'm never gonna do something to intentionally hurt somebody I care about. And so, with that being the case, knowing your friends' love languages and behaving accordingly is super duper important. So, once again, bring this back to me, because I be doing the work, and I analyze situations. Bringing it back to me, I just had a birthday. Okay, I didn't get any gifts. You think I cared about not getting no gifts? I didn't care at all. I literally don't. I took myself to Mexico. I don't care about not getting gifts. What pissed me off? Y'all know what pissed me off? Can y'all guess? Can y'all guess what pissed me off?
Did nobody wish you happy birthday?
Everybody say shit.
The people who didn't wish me happy birthday.
What was right?
The people who didn't wish me up, because I have people that I'm supposed to be like this with, and they didn't hit me up. And I had people literally hit me up a day or two later. Dang, Tim, I had it in my phone. I forgot, but I just want to wish you happy belated. Understanding that just calling me for a few minutes on my birthday, that quality time, it don't got to be a whole, but quality versus quantity. That's what I wanted for my birthday. That's what I wanted. I don't like fake love. This year was a big year for me. I turned 35. I was thinking about doing a birthday party where I would invite people. But when I feel like when you get those parties like that, it's a whole bunch of fake ass love. And I'm not here for fake love. I need the real. And the people that hit me up, some people surprised me that hit me up. And that made my heart feel good. That's what made my heart feel good.
We love you.
These are the homies. These are the homies. These are not men I'm interested in. These are the homies. It's crazy because the men that quote unquote interested in me, most of them didn't even hit me up at all. That's the crazy part. How you say you want to be with me and you don't even hit me up on my birthday? That makes sense. Don't make no sense to me. So no, you definitely have to very much so be cognizant of your friend's love language, cognizant of your friend's triggers, cognizant because relationships, I think that what people don't understand, relationships are reciprocal. What is the purpose of being in any type of relationship with anybody, whether it's a friendship, a dating, whatever? If it's one-sided, and only one person is benefit from being in that relationship with the other person. That literally makes no sense. And so it's important to be intentional about loving your friends and your family members and their love language, and knowing when you can't do it no more, and to step back because you're not going to be able to move in that energy.
Good stuff, Sam. Good stuff.
Okay.
Kiki, so what do you think? Are love languages important in platonic relationships, friendships, the homies?
It's kind of hard to say because when I feel as though I give these little love languages, it always I think, I always heard I was a flirt.
Yeah.
So sometimes when I do certain things, it comes off flirtatious. So I feel like it is important, most definitely. I just feel like it's who you do it or who you give these love languages or whatever the case is to. Because I've done it with platonic friends, and then it turned from, that friendship to one day I had this so-called best friend, know him for 17 years. We chilling, we hanging out, we talking. I swear to God, this nigga got butt naked in my living room.
That nigga been waiting for that shit. That nigga could wait to drop
them
goddamn
in my mind, I'm like, okay,
yeah.
Friend, I'm doing all this. I'm like, we're drinking, we talking about our relationships and stuff. And then I'm like, okay, it's time for you to go home. I'm getting a little drunk. I turn around, butt naked. I was like, oh no, we got into a whole physical. It was first of all because I had my daughter home with me, and it's like, what if she would have, walked in and seen that? It's crazy. So, I mean, it is important to have these type of relationships, but at the same time, I guess it depends on who it is, and you just have to be 1,000% sure that this person just wants this platonic relationship, and that these love languages that you are giving out just stays, neutral. Just understand, like, listen, we're just friends. I'm just, speaking words of encouragement to you. Sorry. I'm speaking these words of encouragement to you. I'm not a hugger, so all that physical stuff, that's out the window. But anything other than that, the kissing, the hugging, I don't do none of that. But as far as
when you're talking about physical touch, it don't have to be nothing like that. For some people, it's just as simple as patting on the back.
I don't do that. That's it for me. I don't do none of that.
And you don't have to, but what I feel like when we talking about giving these love languages, I think that sometimes we often romanticize them, sexualize them, and it don't gotta be none of that. Now, if you're dealing with somebody that is not really a friend, they one of them people that's sitting around trying to figure out when you gonna get them out of the friend zone, that's a whole different. That's a whole different.
Yeah, that was weird. But as far even that, the pattern, I don't like people really honestly like touching me. Because like even people laughing and it's such a like don't touch me. I don't like none of that. So it doesn't really have to be sexual. I'm just not that like an affectionate type of person. But anything of then that, I would definitely give my friends my quality time. Like, hey, let's hang out, let's talk, let's catch up. Everybody's busy. Let's make some time out. At least once a month, let's talk and let's just be around each other and see what's up. So I do think it is important, but again, you have to know who you're doing it to, because you don't want to end up with a situation where you got naked people in your living room. And
that nigga was plotting and planning.
Girl, we got my taser. Like, what the?
I had one. Oh my God, I had it. I tased him right in the neck.
I would have paid to see that. Good stuff. I want to give some love to the chat, ladies. And first of all, shout out to y'all already know my two. Big T, man, to show up every week. Big T is in the building. You better stand up for goddamn Big T representing Texas. And I'm gonna tell you something. Big T and Tony G, you can't love Mac Taxi TV more than them boys, man. Tony G, it ain't nothing that we drop. He don't bless, man. Thank you again. I want Robin to answer Big T's question. I think this is something Robin can really dissect because I'm gonna give Tam's lips a break for a second. What do you find? What do you do, Robin, if you find someone attractive, but they don't fit any of those love languages that you are looking for? They just look good, but the motherfucker ain't got that MFA ain't got nothing that you really like. I'm trying, y'all. I'm really trying to clean my mouth up for this damn YouTube. I'm trying.
So what do you do if you find someone attractive, but they don't fit any of those love languages that you're looking for? That's a deep one right there. Honestly, if you find them attractive and the love language, I mean, honestly, there's a conversation that you need to have. Like, you need to tell what you're looking for. That's what that's about. Like, I don't really like using the term love language, truthfully speaking.
Okay.
I think when you communicate with someone about what your expectations are, what your needs are, what are they looking for, you know, that's how you find out. And you would be surprised, you know, that person might surprise you. You might think that they might not have.
Okay.
They might not fit
okay.
what you looking for. But if you have a conversation, you might discover that they might have a little bit more than what you actually expected. So sometimes you underestimate folks. And that's only because you're too busy looking at the outer part. But sometimes it helps to turn the page and stop looking at the cover. Turn the page.
Big T.
You see what I'm saying? Turn the page and start reading. Because reading is fundamental. Reading is fundamental. So sometimes, you know, we have to just learn to ask questions and stop making assumptions, because when you assume, you know what they say,
make an ass out yourself.
You see what I'm saying? So don't make stop looking at the cover and don't be afraid to open the book and turn a page, because sometimes you sell yourself short by just looking at the cover.
I like that.
Because beauty fades, you know, them looks eventually going to fade. So then what happens once they're not looking as good as they was before? Then what?
Yep. I mean,
Robin, go ahead. You got anything else to add to that? Because I want Kiki to kind of weigh in on that one too.
I mean, we get too caught up in the outside instead of looking at the heart of the individual, and that's where you lose out. And I think that a lot of times we miss out on so many different things because we are afraid to just turn a page. So ask questions.
Oh, that's that fresh off vacation. I'm rested. I'm ready for you niggas right there, Robin. Go ahead, Robin. All right, Kiki. So he don't fit. Jeffrey don't fit none of your love languages.
Don't say that. I have my friend baby daddy.
Huh?
My friend baby daddy name is Jeffrey.
Okay, well, you know what? Then we're gonna go with Dante. God damn it! I know you didn't.
I know what Dante too. No, I'm joking.
Walter, I'm sorry.
Give her a Willie Earl. She can't know a Willie Earl.
You know what? Henry Lee. You going with Henry Lee? You ain't never dated no Henry Lee. So
Henry Lee. Henry Lee.
Now you lying. Now you don't know.
Now you know what? She got a Willie Earl. I didn't gave her a Willie Earl. She don't know no Willie Earl.
Now you know what? Right? Because all Willie Earls are dead at this point. But you gonna go Willie Earl on this one? Kiki, for conversation, Willie Earl. I like that name. Does not fit any of the love languages, but you think Willie Earl fine as hell. How do you address that? How do you deal with that?
I mean, he would just be a fun time. I would never take the situation serious, honestly, because like I said before, like, you know, them looks eventually gonna fade. Nigga might fucking sorry. He might
one or two. We can flip it one or two, you know.
He might wind up with a beer belly, you know, he just looks eventually sometimes fade after time. So, like Robin said, you have to, talk to the person. But if my little Willie Earl person didn't fit none of these love languages or whatever, he would just be for a good time, not a long time situation. We're gonna have some fun, but that would kind of be it. Because I feel like sometimes even when you do talk to people, they still just don't get it. Because sometimes people just stuck in their ways.
But wait a minute, Kiki. Willie Earl might put something on you and mess you up now.
Oh,
I'm just saying. I'm gonna play the devil's advocate tonight. Willie Earl might mess you up. Now, what you gonna do when Willie
might
Earl
put that thing on her?
I'm gonna be right up on this thing like, yo, Mac, let me tell you what happened with Willie Earl. Because I'm not gonna, I don't know, but I can't even. If he put that thing on me, I might stick around for a little longer than I'm supposed to, honestly.
Willie Earl might change. See, listen, that's what I mean, though. Willie Earl might have the very thing that might change your life. I'm just saying. And it don't have to be about him putting something on you, but it might be the very thing that might change your life.
Yeah, if he does it, then I'm definitely gonna, stick around and see, where things go. I'm not gonna just automatically just, okay, yeah, no. The communication, let's talk about it. Let's see what we could do. But if I feel like you're really just not doing anything that you're supposed to, as far as when it comes to me, you gotta go. I'm sorry. Really, Earl, your little doggy, or you got to go.
I like that. God damn. The guy really Earl out of there. Good. Like
and if it is any really girls living now this day and age, I'm sorry.
It ain't that many damn Willie Earls left. If they are, they ain't on YouTube looking at this shit right now. I promise you that Willie Earl ain't.
Now, if you have wait a minute. Now, if you have a Willie Earl, jump in on the chat. I'm just saying.
I might have good stuff. Tam, I'm gonna give your mouth a break on that one. Okay, so I got a question.
I'll hold with her.
No, I'm not gonna pass up on Tam G thoughts. Go ahead. Now you got thoughts. Go ahead.
I think that when we're talking about, going back to what Robin said, I think when we're talking about relationships, we the question was, you're dealing with somebody, or you find this person attractive, but maybe you don't feel comfortable in their love language, and they don't feel comfortable with your love language, right? So that's the question. But if both of you come into a relationship with a teachable spirit, you can work past all of that mess and drama if that's what you both want. And that's what I was talking about earlier when we're talking about relationships being reciprocal, because sometimes you got to teach people how to love you. People always talking about gold diggers, okay? Always talking about gold diggers. Nothing, hey, it is what it is. But when we're talking about a gold digger, is the woman a gold digger, or does she just like gifts? Okay? That might be her legit love language. Okay, she don't feel loved unless you bring her roses home. It might, and I think sometimes we think about stuff like that. We thinking about like, oh, they have to be expensive things. They don't always have to be expensive things, but that's how that person feels loved. Like, but if you don't have a teachable spirit about that, and you're not willing to adjust accordingly to love that person, you're not ready to be in anybody's relationship, because relationships are about adjusting. They're about changing. They're about working together for the best of both people. And so, that attractiveness, like Kiki said, will fade. And so for me, even when I'm in relationships with people and I'm dealing with people, I don't ask, I know what I look like. I know I'm fine as hell. Like there is no limit. Okay, I already know what I look like, and that's not cockiness. That's not conceitedness. It's just who I like. I know what I look like. I need a man to like me for more than what I look like. I ask men who I deal with, why are you interested in me? And if they say because I'm pretty, that is never going to be a sufficient answer for me. That will never suffice. Because, baby, I can get in an accident tomorrow, scar my face up, and not look like this no more. You still going to like me then? Baby, you got to be in love with my character. You got to be in love with my heart. You got to be in love with my spirit. You got to be in love with my personality. Those are the things that are important. But that is something that, regardless of what I look like, I'm still going to have. And so that's the thing. People have to be in relationships and have teachable spirits on how to love on that person, on their significant other.
That's true. Okay.
That was good. Now, I got a question, ladies, and I'm going to kick this one off. This is going to be a little pivot, but we're going to get back on the love language, because I kind of want to talk about what Kiki said, because after this, I'm going to pass it to Kiki. can men and women really, can you have a platonic person with an attractive person? Like, can your male friend be attractive? Because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I can't have no platonic friends, no fine ass woman. Because I'm gonna try to F. I don't know me. So I'm being real as a man. And hey, Tony G, y'all boys weigh in on this. Is she fine? I can't be no female friend with somebody I'm attracted to. So my question, there ain't no platonics. I don't do that. If you fine, you ain't gonna be platonic. Cause I'm gonna be like the dude was in Kiki damn house. I'm pulling it out, guy. I'm going for broke, goddamn it. Tase me down, goddamn. But no, seriously, if he's attractive and you know you're attractive, he's attractive, you know he's attractive. Can y'all really have a platonic relationship without ever crossing over? Because for me, as a guy, speaking for me, I ain't doing it. Kiki, I'm going to you next.
Well, the dude that I taste, he was attractive. So I feel like I can be friends with someone who is attractive.
Okay.
And that's honestly, and he was fine as hell. But I just like, it's certain things in certain guys when I know it's just something kind of turns me off about them. So then it's just like, okay, now you're just my friend. You friend zone. That's all I'm gonna ever see you as. I don't care how fine you is. I don't care how big you. That's just how I will see it. I can't do it.
Okay. So you can keep it platonic. Tam Jizzle, you and man,
give her a bad name too.
You said who?
Give her a bad name too.
Yeah. She about to go with Eli. Eli, her and Eli. Old fine ass Eli at the school that you was talking about, Tam. That fine dark skinned Eli guy. Can you be friends? Oh, okay. Well, that ain't.
I'm sorry.
Well, he done blew up your whole spot, girl.
Woo! Because I was gonna say something, but I can't say it because if he watched this, he gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, listen, I am a girl who hangs with dudes. Some of my homeboys fine. They my homeboys though. Like I don't look at them like that. Girls get jealous that I'm their friend, but I don't look at them like that because it's kind of like what Kiki said. When you are friends with a person, you know they stuff. You know they stuff stank. Okay, you know all they information. And so for me, if I give you a list of all my homies and people be like, why you don't date him? Why you don't date him? Why you don't date him? I can give you a reason why I don't date him because something wrong with food. Okay. And so it's not that they're unattractive, it's just that they have some work that they have to do in order to be ready to be in a relationship with somebody. And baby, I ain't with that. I don't want to be their mess. Now, are there people that you are attracted to that I don't know, you maybe try to build a friendship with, but you know that friendship ain't gonna be real because there's sexual tension between y'all? 100%.
Okay,
100%.
thank you.
And I think you have to be careful in navigating those situations because are you really trying to be friends with this person, or are you trying to keep this person in your back pocket? I have a guy that I really, really liked. I really liked him. And he kind of ghosted me for a couple of years. He was going through some stuff. We spoke about it. I know him since high school. We spoke about it. But every blue moon, he just pop up. And like he's like my what if guy, right? Like he's literally my what if, like, oh, what would happen if this? But every blue moon he pop up, and it pisses me off every time he pops up. Not because I don't care or anything, but because like, bro, leave me alone. Leave me alone. We got too much energy here for you to try to be my friend. Like if you're gonna be my friend, be my friend. If you're not, just stay away. Like I can't do that energy. And then you have those people that are just, y'all both fine, y'all both attracted to each other. Now, wisdom, right? Wisdom, and I'm speaking to myself right now, Lord. Wisdom is understanding that just because y'all both attractive, just because y'all both attracted to each other, just because that thing be thinking on that thing, just because you do that, don't mean you should move in that energy with that person. Even if you want to try, even if y'all they're probably not wisdom, okay? Hey, but when you ovulating, wisdom don't always be wise.
Yeah, I have friends like that too. And I still mess with them. I'm like, okay, you can't really. So that
Kiki, that sounds like
window.
That sounds like an interesting story you're going to tell us one day. Okay, Robin, can well, you already go with Walter Lee, but we're going to take Walter Lee. Otis, can you be friends with Otis? Handsome. Oh, hey, Robin. Oh, handsome ass Otis. You know, pretty light skinned Otis with the green eyes. Goddamn. Otis with the waves. Hey, Robin. Otis had the waves and shit. Out there with the fresh lining, with the Cadillac. Oh, Otis.
Not the Cadillac.
The Cadillac is.
I mean, hopefully it's a Cadillac truck, not the car, but a truck.
We'll give you the Escalade. Okay, you can have the Escalade.
All right. Well, I have been around several, that you knew, that there was some attraction there between us. But we wasn't gonna let it go there. And then I've had situations where it did. I'm just saying.
All right, Robin.
It did go there, and it might have went there several times. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Otis, I knew Otis was that nigga. I knew he was that nigga.
It might have went there several times, but at the same time, and because I'm that one. I mean, heck, I'm gonna be truthful with you. He lived right across the hall. I mean,
tonight is the night.
I mean, he did. And what was crazy was, I'm gonna just tell y'all, this is true story. True story. Honestly, it's a true story. So, and it was the funniest thing because his girlfriend, she pulled up and I just walked past them and I just cracked up and started laughing because, she was hanging all them and stuff. And I spoke and say, hey, how you doing? Walked into my apartment or whatever. And I had already knew, just hours before. I mean, it was what it was, and he was fine. I mean, fine. And, it wasn't nothing to it. It happened several times, and it was what it was. But again, we still cool to this day, like,
wow,
or whatever. So there was some that it didn't happen with, and there was some that it did. So
I just like just like Tammy said, like when you know the dude's situation, like you don't really want to go there like that. But when
honestly, the thing about it wasn't something that, I planned.
It just happened.
Truthfully speaking, it was something that just happened. I mean, there was always attraction or whatever there or whatever. But like I said, I tried it. It was
going back.
Right.
He was right across the hall. I mean,
Robin, convenient. Convenience is a mother effer.
Ain't it though?
Convenience is something else. Convenience is something. Hey, Robin,
right across the hall.
Get that itch, go across all. Good story, Robin. That's good stuff. I want to address what Tony G said. You are right. I keep someone I'm attracted to at a far distance. Me too, Tone. We got to know our limits. I don't. Attractive woman to me. You on the other side. I can't do it. Mac can take your ass down. I'll take you down through there. Now, what's the next thing? We're going to go to, what's my man say? Big T said we pretty much choose friends who we would rank at about the same level of attractiveness that we rank ourselves. Okay, Big T. Good stuff. Good stuff. Now, I want to ask the ladies a question on this because this damn woman here is one of my favorite people in the world. AJ says one of my love languages is gifts. See this damn woman here. If you see my favorite candy in the store and don't think about me enough to grab it, then I don't know. It's not about spending money. It's about thinking about me and showing it. Okay. I love me some Ajax. That's not the problem. This, ladies, is this. He got a thing. Love language is your gift. It cut off. Y'all, can y'all see me? Y'all hear me? No?
We can hear you
better. Yeah, okay.
Okay. The question is, ladies, is this. Now, gift giving. That's a hell of a love language. So I got to get your ass some candy every day. So if I brought you some candy on Monday and then get you no more than Wednesday, that didn't mean I don't love you Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I mean, what does how do you measure that? Like that's a hell of a thing. Well, you didn't bring me no candy today. That's my love language. So
No.
is that being ridiculous or it's within reason? So with that being said, I want you, Kiki, to kick off that.
I don't feel like it's ridiculous. I feel like the whole thinking about me situation. If you go into a store and you buy yourself something, I might like it too or whatever. Like let's say you go in the store, you buy yourself a shirt. And then you walk through the aisles, and you might see something that maybe I might potentially, and it don't have to be an everyday thing, but I just want to feel as though, you're thinking about me while you in the store. I don't want to come home and I see all these shopping bags. Now I'm looking through it because I'm like, okay, well, what happened to my stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be an all the time thing, but I think that some women want to feel like they're, being thought of. It doesn't have to always necessarily be candy or clothes. It could be anything. We just want to feel like we're being thought about. The same with men. I might go into a store and I live in the hood. It's a sneaker store behind my building. I bought this cute little t-shirt because I just thought it was cute. I went in there, I'm walking, I'm waiting to pay. They had drawers and socks and I'm like, you know what, my man needs some new drawers. I mean, pick him up a pair of polo, drawers, whatever, just so that so he can feel like I thought about him while I was in the store. That's just me.
All right. Sam Jizzle.
Hey, yo.
What was the question though? I'm sorry.
The question is, Tam, like AJ was saying, her acts of service, her love language is gift giving. My thing is if she's saying, hey, if you go in the store and you see a piece of candy I like, bring it on in. That makes sense. That's cool. I think that's just being a considerate human being.
Yeah.
But if he do that on Monday, yeah, damn, he ain't got. I mean, and he don't do it again for 2 weeks. Does that mean his ass she ain't showing no love language? I mean,
well, I think that once again, I think that we're thinking about love languages too linearly. People usually have two primary love languages, so it's not just going to be gifts. It's going to be gifts and something else, right? So they might still feel loved because they're being loved in that other language. But a thoughtful person, a person that cares about their partner, is going to always be seeking to make their partner feel loved, cared for, and cherished. That's their job as their partner, right? So I was watching this family today. They're kind of like a little social media family, whatever. And the husband, what he did was he took pictures of him and his wife when their first date. He took a picture of it. And he took the sweatshirt that she was wearing, and he took the sweatshirt that he was wearing, and he framed it. He put a picture of them in that shirt, and he put a picture of them in their wedding. And he basically gifted that to his wife. And she broke down, got on her knees, tears. Their children came in. It's like, Daddy, look, this is you and what mommy went. It was his moment. And I don't know how much that costs. I don't know if it cost them a whole bunch of money at all to do that. But it was a thoughtful, intentional gift. You know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes when we're talking about gifts, people want to talk about money, buying things. It's not always like that. It could literally be sticky notes all around the house. Sticky notes. Babe, thinking about you as I'm at the microwave. Thinking about you as I'm washing myself. I don't know, whatever. That it don't have to be monetary. And I think that we get so caught up on, do I got to do it every day? You should want to do it every day. You should want to make your partner feel loved every day. It's not going to be easy. Loving somebody is a choice. You got to choose every day you wake up to love your person intentionally. But you should want to make them feel loved, and you should want them to make you feel loved in return. So if you feel like it's an obligation, if you feel like how they want to be loved is a burden, you probably shouldn't be in that relationship with that person. If how they desire to be loved is a burden to you, you should probably remove yourself from that relationship, because you're never going to be able to give them what they need. They're always going to be wanting and liking more because you feel like it's a burden to show them what they need.
Yeah, that's why I'm by myself, because I ain't got time to do none of that.
Robin, what you got on that, Robin?
Okay, so I'm gonna take a different approach.
Of course.
Okay, so if she like candy,
she likes candy.
She like candy, and you know what kind of candy she like.
Okay.
Why not buy a whole bunch of it? So, and you give her a whole bunch all at once. So it's not you buying it today and then a few days later you buying some more. You bought a whole bunch of candy, the kind that she likes, and she has a whole lot of the kind of candy that she likes. And you bought a lot of it so that not so that you wouldn't have to keep buying the candy per se, but the thought behind it is I bought a lot of it because I know that you like it, and whenever you want some candy, your favorite kind of candy, you have a lot of it and you can just go to it and you can grab some of it whenever you want it. So you got enough of it right there for you to have it. So you have to start thinking like that versus thinking like, well, if I don't buy it for another week, is she gonna feel like I don't care about her because I didn't buy her no candy this week when I went to the store? No. The thought process behind it is think outside of the box when you think about the person that you're with, right? The thought process behind it is, again, look at it from the aspect of how would you feel? And I think a lot of times we don't think about it from that aspect of how we would feel when you want someone to think about you in that capacity. So put yourself in that
Right.
person's shoes. And a lot of times we don't. We tend to not put ourselves in the other person's shoes. Life can happen in a things can happen in life that causes a shift and a change at the drop of a hat, right? And so something could happen and you know what the individual like. That's what I mean by when you've spent time with the individual and you learning about that person, you know the different things, the quirks, the ins and outs of that individual. So you want to think outside of the box when it comes down to that person, because you're right, you want to see them happy, you want to you want them to feel special. You want them to know that you care about them and that you love them and that you would go above and beyond for them. So I would look at it from the aspect, let me buy a lot of her favorite or his favorite so that, you know what, whenever she wanted, she got a whole lot of it that she can go to it and get it when she wants it. She has access to it.
Yeah, that remind me of an episode of Everybody Hates Chris when the mom when Julius had the box full of cards just so he could sign it, Happy Flag Day, whatever. He just knew, let me get this box of cards so she can have it.
Out the way.
Right. But I do agree as far as like, not everything has to be about money and how much you spend and everything like that. So I definitely agree with both of you guys. Like, cause let's say if I'm cooking, it's the times and I cook something and I'll be mad at the nigga. I'm like, I ain't cooking him nothing. But let's just say, okay, if I like I'm big on seafood, but whoever I was with, maybe he doesn't like seafood. So for me, I'll be like, okay, I know he don't like seafood, so I'm gonna cook something to show him, I sat here and I thought about him. And instead of just making what I wanted, I'm gonna make him something as well so that we can all just be happy together. But again, it's just too much work, so I just rather be alone.
Oh. Good stuff, ladies.
Like going on vacation, taking herself on trips. I want to think about myself right now.
You gonna do you like Tammy, take yourself on trips?
Absolutely, I'm about to be like Tammy and
And Robin.
Listen,
Catching flights, not feelings, as they say. Catching flights, not feelings. That part.
Somebody's beach.
Okay, Kiki, I need you to hit Robin with some hit Robin and us with some questions because I want to hear more about wild ass old freaky Otis. I know you got some questions for us.
What about some sexual questions?
Yeah, the people, they want to hear Get Freaky with Kiki segment. They want to hear that. The people want to hear Get
let
Freaky.
me think of something. I don't even know. Like, okay. Do you ladies enjoy giving or receiving?
Both.
You do? Oh my
Both.
God. Oh, I hate that
Both.
shit.
You said you hate what? What do you hate?
Giving.
Oh, see, this is my thing. Oh, man, like when you like somebody, like when
That
you
too.
like them a lot, ooh, like I feel like you be doing stuff that you never thought you'd do. And the thing is, for me personally, because I'm a late bloomer, like I didn't have any type of sexual experience until I was, like 29, right? And so I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. I don't know if I'm gonna like this. And baby,
Like, oh my.
woo! Okay, so yes, both.
Oh my God. I hate it. But again, like you said, it depends on who you're doing it to. Because some people are like this. Oh, no, I don't want to do. But, if it's a female, I will do it. Men, it hurts. My throat.
I don't have time for
do
so
it.
do with that information that you will.
Oh my gosh.
Put that to the universe. Now
Do you want to answer this question, Robin?
Otis, you better answer this goddamn question about her and Otis across the hall. Shit. I want to know. Taking her ass over there at 2:00 in the morning, 2:00 in the afternoon. Hey,
Wait, how you know the time? Was
Otis shit.
You ain't know about? How you know the time?
Robert just seemed like a good 2:00 in the morning. Fucking these kids sleep. Let me slide.
Right. Like, I'm up. I'm horny.
Well, I'm a Scorpio, so.
Oh, those are freaks.
No, they are. Scorpios is freaks. Them and Gemini.
Got two.
Gemini's big time freaks too.
So
I don't know about that.
I'm gonna just say, I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna say that if I'm gonna receive, he better know what he doing. Doc, I'm gonna say that.
You can coach him.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
That don't work.
No, ma'am. And no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Ain't coaching nobody. Because if you're gonna go there, you better know what you're doing. Nope. If you're gonna go there, you better know what you better know what you're doing. Because if not, I don't want you doing it. I don't want you doing it. If you know what you're doing, I don't want you doing it. Because that's not a requirement for me.
Oh wow.
So I can take it or leave it. Either way it goes.
Wow.
I'm okay with that. So if you don't have to do that with me. So I'm okay with it. But if you're gonna do it, know what you're doing.
Okay. Because what are you doing down there, sir?
Exactly. That part.
You ain't even licking the right part.
Y'all must ain't never dealt with no Jamaican.
Never.
Woo!
I done dealt with the Haitians, the Guyanese, never Jamaican. My baby daddy is Guyanese.
That doesn't have anything to do with the who he is and what ethnicity he is. That he has to know what he. Period. End of story. And as far as the giving, I don't have no problem with that part, especially if it's somebody that I'm with and whatever. So I'm good, whatever. I'll make sure he good.
Okay. Mac, what you like? You like giving or receiving? You seem like you more of a receiver. Like, get on your knees.
I like to here you go. Yeah, I like to receive, but I give. I'm a giver. I give, but I'm a receiver. I'd rather receive, but
okay.
but I will give though. I ain't that damn selfish. I will give. That's a good question. I will give.
You have to lick it before you stick it. That's the rule.
I mean, I'm with Robin. Like, it's not a must, but I definitely like that too. Okay, so this one is really just strictly for the women.
All right.
Because I had this conversation, this argument or whatever case is. Do you have intercourse? I'll just be, or whatever. Do you have intercourse when it's that time of the month?
Oh.
No.
For me, cleanliness is next to godliness. I'm not going to invite anybody into my space when I don't feel clean. And when you're talking about being on your menstrual cycle, that's your body literally cleaning itself. And so for me, that's not something I'm willing to do. Not at this point in life. So nah, we can wait a couple days later.
Robin.
Well,
I hope you
Otis got the red wings, goddamn it. Come on, Otis.
Well, so I'm hoping we on the same page.
I'm gonna just say this. Have I done it before? I have.
That's real. That's real.
And truthfully speaking, you just put a towel down. It gets a little messy. That's what they got showers for. I'm just saying. At this point in time in my life, I don't have those anymore. So that's not going to get in the way of me doing that. So
all right.
I can have it as much as I want to, and that is not going to ever be an issue anymore. So, I mean, I'm just saying. But I have done it.
I do it all the time. And then if it's too much, like, I mean, it sounds really gross, but like, let's be real, we're adults here. So if it's too heavy, it's just like a no. If it's like, you know, you done had it for a few days, but if, you know, you take yourself a shower before you get busy. Of course, I'm not going to just come in like, hey, you know, it's never been like that. I would always, you know, take my little shower first, stick in my tampon until we got to that point. And then once, okay, let me take it out real quick. Throw it away. Is either vaginally or, you know, we got 2 holes for a reason.
That's too much work. It's too much work.
It is a lot of work, but if you, I don't know, I feel like sometimes for me, I think when it's that time, I get way more hornier.
The hormone.
Yeah. We can use that word.
It's just like, listen, we can do it in the shower. We can do it on the bed. There's, like Robin said, you put yourself a dark towel down.
Yes, sir.
Once you do your go in the shower, throw that thing in the dirty bin or whatever the case is, and then that's just it. But Mac.
Yeah. Hell yeah, I did that shit before. Hell yeah, I did that shit. I didn't. You said what, Kiki?
I was gonna say, do you do it with like just anybody, or is this like somebody that you like, you know, you dealing with?
I'm not gonna. No, we in a relationship and we rocking out. Hell yeah. Hey, right. Hey, get that green towel. I used to have that green, baby. That was the magic one right there. Hell yeah.
Max said a red light don't stop nobody.
Hey, Tabby, let me tell you something. It brings us closer. That was my mindset, baby. We closer. Shit.
I'm like, look, we sharing my blood together. Like we're intertwined as one.
Oh, hell no, man. It's some guys who ain't gonna admit that. But it's some man niggas. You get horny enough, that's your old lady. You gonna, it's gonna happen. I don't want to hear that. I doubt.
Right.
Good stuff. What else you got, Kiki? That's just good question.
All right. So what is something sexually that you pretended to like, but you really didn't like it, but you did it just because it's like, you're right, he cool. You know what I'm saying? So you'll do it just because you wanted to. I'll say that for me in the beginning, it was the anal sex. Like I did not like it. I thought it was kind of weird. It gave me like prison vibes. Because I was like, why would you want to be back there? I mean, over time I got used to it, but in the beginning I was just like, why would you want to be back there? Like it was just weird to me. So that was something that I felt was weird. I didn't like it. Over time I did like it, but in the beginning it was like that's nasty. Like, was you in jail before? Like, why would you want to stick it was a lot. And that's just, I don't know. I was reading her comment. What do you guys say?
Yeah, Coco said, "Heck no, you can walk through the mud, my nigga, but we ain't smashing in the blood."
That's what I was reading.
Okay, all right. Well, let's see what the comments say, y'all. Let's get the comments some love. Let's get the chat some love. Hell no. Tony G said, hell no, I'm not doing it with any woman during that time of the month. Okay, Tony. All right. Tony said, I'm going to think
you may not want to, like, if it stinks and it's like, ooh, but you know, if you clean.
Tony, Big T said, Mac, bring you close. Yeah, hey, shit. Yeah, it's going to bring you close. All right. Hey, man, don't knock it till you try it. That's all I'm going to tell you. All right, let's keep it moving. What else we got? Who else? Anybody else in the chat? Okay. Let's see. My girl Joanna from Detroit. She says, what did she say? She said, well, okay. Well,
Yeah,
all right. All right.
I'm
Now, what was your question?
Okay, so the question was, what is something that you didn't really like sexually, but you did it anyway?
I ain't never done nothing I don't like. That I ain't never done nothing I never did. I don't now anal
in your butt.
No, I don't play nobody sticking no damn thing in my ass. Now hell no. Now Kiki don't we talked about that. Don't start that shit. Don't you stick no guy. Now you talk about the quickest way for me to kick somebody in their head. I wish a woman would try to stick a finger in my head. And for some reason, you got some thick ass fetish. Because last week you was talking about sticking a finger in a man's ass when in the shower with you. Now Kiki, we're gonna get you some therapy. Because it's something about you and juking men in their ass that we need to figure this thing out. But that ain't how Max swings. So hell no.
I want them to feel the same pleasure that they try to give me.
No, that's how you get kicked in your head where I'm from. Anyway, Robin, I'm gonna let you handle that before me and Kiki get into it.
I'm gonna tell you one thing I don't like, because I had it done and it messed me up. So I don't like it.
Tammy writing notes. Tammy taking notes.
I had.
Oh Lord, I'm getting nervous. Robin laughing too much. What the hell Otis did?
I had somebody suck my toes. And it messed me up.
Girl, that's exactly what I was about to say.
It messed me up so bad that when it was all said and done, it messed me up so bad. I said, "Oh no, I don't like that. Nope, you can't do that no more. Nope, nope,
For that?
Wait a minute, Robin, why he can't lick the toes?
Nope,
But he can lick
my toes licked.
Robin. Okay, I'm gonna leave Robin alone. Man can lick the cootie, but he can't lick the damn toes. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. That just blessed my damn mind, Robin. You and Otis did some shit. Tammy, we gonna come back to Robin. Tammy, what's yours?
He's having like a laugh attack right now.
Cause Otis didn't lick them damn toes and messed her head up. That's what the hell. Or she might have met one of them Greek men over there that did damn stick one of them toes in her mouth. Hey, Kiki, that nigga had some lamb in one hand and licking the toes in the other hand. That nigga was going to work.
Cause she is dying.
Yo, she had a hell of an experience.
It just messed me up. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that.
What the hell you wrote down? What you write down, Tammy? I want to know.
Oh, it's exactly what Robin said.
Really?
Exactly so my ex-boyfriend, my last person that I dated 2.5 years ago, he was into feet. He said one of the reasons why he stopped me and talked to me while we got together was I had pretty feet. Like he was super duper into feet. Our second hangout, this man literally took the sock off my foot and sucked my toes. Now, I ain't never had my toes sucked before that. So I was like, he was into it though. That's what he liked. So I just kind of just kept going with it, but it does absolutely nothing for me at all. Not even a little bit. Now maybe he was sucking my toes, balls deep into me. That might have been a different thing. But even when that was happening, it was like, yeah, this doesn't do anything for me. It's not doing nothing for me. Like it doesn't do anything for me. And to me, it's weird that you're looking at my feet and you like sexualizing my feet and you like, ooh, put some heels on. Ooh, like what is about my feet? And then having conversations with him, I realized that it was attached to trauma. And I was like, this is just even weird. Yeah, because his grandfather had passed away. And his grandfather told him when he was young, look at a woman's feet. And if you look at her feet, then, you can tell that she's a good woman or something like that. It was a conversation he had with his granddad. His granddad had passed away.
Never heard that.
He turned that whole conversation he had with his grandfather into I'm gonna date women with pretty feet and I'm gonna suck their toes. And I'm like, And I guess some people like it. It does nothing for me. There are other places you can suck that will give me all the pleasure. My toes is not one of them. Okay, there are places that I can suck that give you lots of pleasure. Your toes ain't gonna be one of the places I suck. So I'm not putting feet in my mouth, and I don't need you to put my
I
feet in your
suck
mouth.
men's toes.
I'm good.
You suck toes, Kiki?
If they got nice feet, not no like, ugly feet, but hell yeah.
Kiki, you know what? No, I thought about it. I do have one. I don't like that licking, that tossing the salad shit. Don't do that with me.
So
No,
this,
don't do it. Hey, I'm 225 pounds. I'm too far effing big to have my legs all sprawled up in the air like that.
you
Get
don't
your
have
ass
to be
down.
legs up. You just turn
Uh-uh.
on.
Some man, hey, Robin, some man on his knees and got some woman licking his behind. Get your big ass out the air, man. What's wrong with you? No, I don't want that. No.
I mean, when you think about it like that, it kind of, but
It just, Kiki, you can't come back from that. You can't come back from that.
I did.
I mean, do you understand what come out of there, right?
I had it done to me, and I've done it to somebody.
Do you understand what come out of there? I can never look at you the same way. Like,
unless you gotta wash it.
No, I don't want to kiss you after that. I don't want to. No.
You don't want my kiss, Robin?
Nope.
They be like, make sure that this is your cup. This is your own. This is your
Nope.
cup. Drink no other cups from this house.
Nope.
Man.
Matter of fact, you got to roll out.
But you know what I realized? Like a lot of people, they say let me tell you something. A lot of men who say that they don't, not talking about you, Mac, but a lot of these other guys, they say that they don't like it. Those are the same ones who start putting them legs all the way back. And I'm like,
unsanitary. Do you know what come out of there? Like you can
find
up with fever blisters and all. No.
Thank God I've never had that situation.
Tony G said Otis put some barbecue sauce on them toes for Robin. I'm with you. Hey, Otis did something to that woman's feet. That boy, he ain't been right since.
Ugh, I hate barbecue sauce. They should put some mambo sauce on it.
Listen. All I'm gonna tell you is it just messed me up. That's all. And I don't like it. Nope.
Robin is hilarious.
All right, so I have one last
give
question.
Us one more. Come on.
So sexually, what is one talent that you can say like you just perfected in the bedroom? Whether it's riding, because I know a lot of women, they be like, oh no, that riding shit is just too much. Sucking, licking, whatever it is. What is your one talent that you feel like that's just your shit? Like, when you lay it down, that's over. You're going to have him stuck.
Wait, I'll let the ladies answer. I'll save me for last.
I think you should go first, man.
Yeah.
You want me to go first? Okay, for me, the stroke game. God damn it. I got that right. It's the right stroke, and it's the rhythm, and it's the flow. I got a stroke game. Now I'm gonna go with that. Stroke game. Does that count, Kiki? Is that a acceptable answer, or you need a position or some shit?
Kind of basic, but all right. So what's the position?
I like mid soul snatcher at this point in my life. Can I go with that? Is that acceptable for you?
What was it? It kind of went off. What was it? A soul snatcher?
No, I like the missionary position because it's a soul snatching position. I'm looking at her in the eyeball. Yeah. And I can see her soul leaving her damn body. Yes, Lord. That's me. Yeah. I'm doing that Otis type shit. That Robin, that Otis did to Robin. I'm on that type of time. Snatching souls, goddamn.
Yeah, I would say maybe doggy style for me, only because I could throw it back really good, and then I also twerk on it at the same time. So
wait a minute. Hold, pause. I got pause there. How do you doggy and twerk? Now, how does a woman do that?
Honestly, I didn't know how I don't know. I just did it, and then the dude also he said, "Yo, do that shit that you be doing," and I'm like, "What do I be doing?" He like, "Oh, when you twerk on it," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I did it. That and then gripping at the same time. Them Kegels that we talked about a few weeks ago.
That's against the law. Shit, she big.
I don't know how I did it. I don't know where the F it came from, to tell you the God honest truth. I just did it, and then I just kept doing it afterwards. So for me, I was like, oh shit, look at me doing something new. I was proud of myself. I was definitely proud of myself for that.
Well, just quick, Big T said hitting it from the back while twisting and pulling hair. That's his sex.
I done cut off all my heads today. You can't, what you call, don't pull my wig either. That will get you popped. Okay, don't touch a black woman's head.
Don't touch a black woman's head.
What is after you get your braids? Can you imagine somebody? What are you doing? You done glued your wig on. Then now your wig is lifting. Don't touch a black woman's hair unless it's natural, I guess.
I answered. Who's next? Okay, so you do doggy and twerk. I'm scared to ask Robin. Can we ask Tam Jizzle?
That's right. With the tan on her shoulder, that should look good, girl.
Yeah, she got that bronze thing going for her today. Goddamn.
I don't have enough sexual experience to say that I've perfected anything. So, I've only been with a few people, you know.
Like no throat growth.
I can't say that. I think I do it pretty good, but I can't say that I've perfected it. Like, I feel like when you would have to be with somebody for a long time and or have a lot of experience to know that, hey, this is something that universally people like or whatever. And I just don't have that experience. A lot of my sexual encounters were, I don't want to say one-offs, but just like a couple times with one person. So like maybe 3 times with this guy, 1 time with this guy, maybe 4 times with this guy. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say that I've perfected anything. And that's why when we talk about these things, I always talk about having a teachable spirit, because I know I don't know everything, but I'm willing to learn. Like, I'm very eager. Tell me, you know? But
I can tell you a lot of stuff too, girl.
So that's my thing. So I don't know if there's anything I perfected. I definitely will say probably like my first time I was throwing it back instinctively. So
you have to do it in sync. Like it would be really weird.
He was very impressed. But I don't know.
What about you, Robin?
Oh, well, wait a minute. Joanna says practice on the pickle, you'll perfect it, Tam. I guess you want to give you.
Listen, I can't even do that because I love pickles so much. I'll sit there and just eat them all up.
That's what Joanna said. That's okay. Thank you, Joanna. Okay. All right. Come on, Robin. Let me see if I'm ready for this. Let me get my cigar. Here we go. Shit.
Give me your wine.
You get your wine. Get ready for this one.
I would say me being on top with my back turned to him.
Reverse cowgirl.
Reverse cowgirl. Okay.
That.
The Megan Thee Stallionies. Let me tell you, after 2 or 3, no, like 3 or 4 times, I'm like, oh, my knees hurt.
No, I'm good.
It was too much of that pop, lock, and dropping it back, and you know what I'm saying? My knees be hurting. I can't.
I got a good balance. Good balance.
Yeah. It's good to know that we all are very sexual freaks.
Oh shit! He go. Yeah, man. Y'all. Go ahead, Robin.
Okay.
All right, Robin got fan. Hey, Tammy up here talking about she ain't got that much experience, but be 50 niggas in the DMs talking about try me. I'll get you some experience.
Mm-hmm. Oh, perverts, report them.
Oh my god, she about to be okay. Her shit's crazy. Kiki, phenomenal segment. God, that was good. All right, ladies, we coming up on our time. We got about 15 minutes left. Get these few questions and we out of here. Great show, ladies. All right. Okay, let's transition. Let's come back down because I can't get the Otis's toes out of that. This nigga got barbecue on the toe. Oh man, messing up Robin life. All right, ladies. Tam, you ready? I'm coming to you. All right. This is gonna be a good Tammy G question. I just can feel Tammy about to talk her shit on this one. Can the concept of love languages, Tam, perpetuate unrealistic expectations in a relationship?
Wait, say that again.
Yeah.
All right, Rob. Can the concept of these love languages perpetuate unrealistic expectations in relationships today?
So I think that people are lazy. And I don't say that to be mean or cruel to people. I just think that people are lazy and they want relationships to always be easy and not have to put no work in. And the thing is, I think that it should be easy at the beginning portion of the relationship. That's when you like in the lovey-dovey, the rose-colored glasses. But relationships take work. And so no, I don't think love languages put unnecessary expectations on relationships. I just think y'all niggas is lazy and you don't want to put no motherfucking work in. Excuse my language. That's really what I think it is. Like, I feel like we have this same conversation. We have all these battles. We talked about it last week. Men against women. Who do this? Who should do that? What are we doing? Like, bro, we are in this together. And if you ain't in this together, what are we in this for at all? That is really my takeaway of it all. I don't want to have to fight the person I love. I don't want to have to battle with them and beg them to love me the way I want to be loved. That's not cool. Like, I shouldn't have to do that. So no, I don't think it put unrealistic expectations. I think that if you are if you doing those 3 C's, right? Clear, open, honest communication, being consistent, and what's the other one? Dang, I always forget the other one. Communication, consistency, and commitment. If you're doing those things, right? If we locked in, you're doing those things, it's not a problem. The problem is that people introduce you to a vibe that they cannot maintain.
Oh, I like that.
They introduce you to a vibe they cannot maintain.
That's a fact.
Now
That's
you
real,
expect
Tam.
this from them, and they tired of it. They tired of doing it because they introduce. This is what I don't even tell dudes what I'm looking for in relationships anymore. I have a dude that's in my DM right now, and he's like older. He has a child or whatever. And he was like, what do you want in a relationship? What are you looking for? What are you doing? And I'm like, bro, first of all, I don't owe you answers to none of these questions because I don't know who you are. Like, let's be clear. I've never met you in real life. I don't owe you answers to none of these questions. But it was aggressive and it was all this energy. And he you could tell by how he was positing questions. He's coming with all this trauma and this baggage and all this stuff that I ain't willing to we're not even do this. And so, you know, when we're talking about these love languages, these expectations, I think that if you love somebody, you're going to want to love them the way that they want to be loved. It's not necessarily going to be easy. It's gonna be simple. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm not saying it'll be easy, but it'll be simple. Like, and I see that with my aunt and my uncle. Like, they were on the trip with me. They've been married 38 years. Next year they'll have been together for 40 years of their life. If you know how locked in they are, they still get on each other's nerves, but they locked in. I asked my auntie, I said, Auntie, would you go on a trip by yourself? I ain't leaving my husband. That's my husband. I ain't leaving my husband. Okay. These are and you know why? Because they've created a system amongst themselves where they budget. You know, they don't answer a question without looking at each other first. They look at each other first. When you ask them one person a question, they're going to look at each other. They're going to confer amongst each other. And then they're going to answer the question. That's the system they put. It's not easy, but it's simple. And so I think that the problem here that we're coming into is that people want to be in relationship, but don't want to put in the work to be in relationship with other people. Being in relation to another person is a difficult task. You're not going to like that person every day. It is not. You're not going to like them every day, but you got to be. Like I told y'all earlier, you have to make a choice to love them daily. You might not like them. They might piss you off. Okay? He might have left that toilet seat up. She might have spent the last money on some crazy. I don't know, whatever the issue is. But even though you don't like them, your choice is still be kind to them and still love them despite not liking them in that moment. So right. I just feel like we're not intentional about moving in that. And that is the problem. And so that's why everything somebody wants is a problem with you, because you want this job to be real easy, and you don't want to put the work in to make a relationship work. And relationships require work.
Good
That's a
stuff.
fact.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, Kiki, let me ask you that again. Can the concept of love languages create unrealistic expectations in relationships?
I definitely think they do. Sometimes I feel as though people are looking for more than what. How do I put this? Like, I feel like sometimes people want more than what they expect. I don't know how to really honestly put it. I ain't even gonna hold you. I feel like sometimes people put. Damn, I don't even really honestly know how to even put it, because it makes sense to me all up in here, but it may not make sense to you.
Just say it. Just say it. We'll work through it. Just say it.
All right, so repeat the question one more time.
Do you think these love languages are create unrealistic expectations? All this
I
the act
do.
of service. Yeah.
I feel like sometimes people think of these love languages like the touch and the motion, all that stuff. I feel like sometimes people put too much on it, and they like Robin said, like she don't like that term love language. I feel like when people hear the term love language, they necessarily stick to it, and they don't think of like the whole, the whole spectrum of what it actually means. And I feel like sometimes people expect more than what. Fuck, I hate when it's like my mind, I have a whole bunch of shit going through it. I feel like sometimes people just expect more than what somebody is willing to honestly give, if that makes sense. I know it's kind of all over, but it makes sense to me in my head.
In Kiki language, I get it. We understand. We used to you. That makes sense. So we get it. We get it. That's great.
Right.
Robin, what's your take on that one?
So my take is that you have got to stop expecting you from the other person.
That's what I mean to say.
Because
I told you we understood you.
Everybody is different, right? And so, again, I love language, right? Now we're starting to use those two words so loosely today, right? And so at the end of the day, most people don't even know what their love language is, right? That's the first thing. And so, and the only way that you get to learn what that is by taking the time out to get to know who you are, so that you can teach that person or show that person how to treat you, how to love you, how to be there for you, how to take care of you, right? But at the end of the day, if you don't know how to treat you, how to love you, how to take care of you, how do you expect somebody else to come into the equation and treat you good, love you, how to take care of you, right? So you have an unrealistic expectation of someone coming in being able to fulfill all those things when you don't really know how to do that for yourself. And so my thought process is yes, that's unrealistic expectations, because you're expecting you out of them, and you cannot do that. And so we have got to stop expecting us out of the other individual. Why? Because we don't think the same. So we're not going to react the same way. So something that may bother me may not bother you. I might not respond the way that you're going to respond to the situation, right? You might do something that might trigger something in me, but you don't know that that it triggered something in me. Why? Because we haven't had that conversation about certain aspects, right? So you didn't know, you did it, and then I'm pissed at you because you said something and I'm not talking to you, but you don't understand why I'm not talking to you, because we're not having conversation, or we haven't had conversations about certain things. Why? Because I haven't spent enough time with myself long enough to be able to express or convey or whatever the case.
Mhm.
So again, it's about sitting with you long enough and understanding who you are and where you are to be able to show the other person how you handle you, so they know how to handle you. So if you don't know how to handle you, how do you expect somebody else to know how to handle you? So it does set unrealistic expectations, in my opinion. And like I
Yeah.
said, that's a term we just use too loosely for me. Love is a word that we use too loosely. But
Facts.
that's
Facts.
just
Yep. I agree. The whole point of, expect I'm the type person, and it drives me crazy all the time. And I always say the same thing, like, oh, I did this, and this for this person, but they don't do it to me back. Or they haven't done, you know what I'm saying? And then people always tell me, like, well, you can't expect the same thing that you give people back to you. And I do definitely, people use that word, the love language and narcissism and all them other things, way too loosely in my book. I feel like we really don't understand the meaning of it. I really didn't understand the whole thing of the love language thing. I ain't even gonna hold you. When you tell me, I ain't even look it up because I was going through my own personal shit. But when it came to the love language thing, my love language was just, communicating with me every day type of situation. And I do agree with Robin when, people just use certain things just way too loosely out here. They just say it just to say it. And there's no like real meaning or depth behind it. They just say it just because it sounds good. Everybody's a fucking narcissist. Oh, everybody's a freaking narcissist. Everybody, oh, this is my love language. And it's just a lot out here. I love this conversation because I always learn something new, honey. Okay.
Hey, it's the best two out. Go ahead,
I
Tam.
think that the problem that you have with these terminology is that they become so mainstream that people are misusing it. That if you know how to use them properly, they are very adequate descriptions of how people are moving in this day and age. When we talk about relationship toxicity, that is become normalized, right? That's important. When you're talking about a narcissist, okay, those are important things, but the problem is you have a whole bunch of people that don't know what the hell these words using these words like they're interchangeably, and they are not. So I don't think the terminology is wrong. I think the mainstreamness of the terminology is wrong because people are saying things and don't know what the hell they're talking about. Like that is
they just use it like a little
they just
sentence
misuse it. They don't know what they're saying. But the terminology in and of itself to describe these traits are not wrong. It's just that people don't know what they're talking about. But yes, I think that when we're talking about these love languages and things of nature, I love what Robin said. She said that you have to know yourself. Well, that was one of the main points I made when we first started this conversation, because if you don't know yourself, you can't tell somebody else how to love you if you don't know how to love yourself. You have to know those things. And I think that once again, this goes with the whole communication, knowing who you are, being able to communicate what you need from your partner adequately, clearly, openly, honestly. And then you could be specific to this is how I feel loved. I had a conversation with my mom about a month or two ago. Maybe it was earlier this year. And I said, I don't feel love when you do that. You want to buy me this or you want to do this. That does not make me feel love. You know what makes me love? Quality time. Acts of service. I say it to my family all the time. I tell them all the time, I was like, this, you're doing this and you think you're doing something for me. And I'm just looking at you like, and you think I'm ungrateful for what you're doing. And it's not that. That's just not how I want to be loved. I want make my life easier, bro. Make my life easier. Give me some quality time. Like one thing, my aunt doesn't like to drive. She's 62. She does not like, maybe 63 now. She's 63. And she don't like to drive. If my auntie drive me somewhere, ooh, that lady love me. She don't like to drive. That's the act of service. Cause she ain't want to do that. She didn't want to drive, but she did it. That's the act of service. So it's like, I think that when we're talking about these love languages, there's so much negativity in regards to them because people are misusing it, they're misconstruing it. It does not have to be that. That's the problem is the application. People don't know how to apply these things in the proper way. That is I don't think the terminology wrong. I think it's the application. Like people think they know what they're talking about. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. That's what it is. They don't know what they're talking about.
At all. So say my ex used to send me, once I blocked him, he started sending me stuff about narcissism. And I'm like, sir, this is describing you. What the hell is you talking about? People just use the, like, you know, they hear stuff on social media and that everybody a narcissist. It just be a lot. They just hear things out here and they just use it. I don't know. But great conversation. I could tell you that much.
Good stuff, ladies. I'm gonna cap it off with this. As far as the acts of service, I mean these love languages, it's the time and the place for all of them. They all fit. Receiving gifts, you know, personal, physical touch, acts of service, quality time, words of affirmation. It's a time and a place for all of them. But goddamn, if I just had surgery, ma'am, I don't need no gift. I need, you know what? I need acts of service. There's gonna be times where, hey, I'm preparing for something, and maybe I'm preparing for a big show or whatever. Hey, you know what? A good word of affirmation. You know what? You got this. At different times, we use them all, but there's a time and a place for all of them. And one last thing, ladies, be careful. And I admonish y'all, because you know, great majority of my followers are women. Be careful on using these and leading with these love languages. Man, what your love language is, you leading him, he gonna lead you right to the slaughterhouse. So be careful on doing that. Don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm just being real with y'all. I'm just giving y'all some real game. Don't be like, yeah, you know what? Acts of service. And the nigga do an acts of service right to that goddamn slaughterhouse. And you wondering why that happened, because you told him, hey, let him learn you, as Robin said. Let people learn you. Don't be leading with, yeah, well, you know, I like to receive gifts. Well, shit, then he's like, well, fuck it. Well, forget it then. I can buy you.
Right,
so
he's gonna love from you.
There you go. There you go. Physical touch. He gonna be trying to touch you every 2 minutes, you know, because he thinks, again, that's gonna be the key. So just be careful, and I admonish you by leading with that. Let people discover you and put in the work to figure out what makes you you. So
that's true. That's true. And I wanted to just say this before we about to log off, right?
Correct. Yes.
I just wanted to say this because I read the comments, okay? Because I've been reading. Anything that I've ever said, as far as the stories or how I, you know, take certain things, it's based off my personal life. I don't try to speak for all women. I don't speak for all Black women. Anything that I say is, you know, based off my shit, my truth, what I've been through, and maybe still what I am going through. Because I get that, you know, everybody has an opinion, but I don't like the comments when it says like, oh, this is Black women. I don't speak for Black women. I don't think that Tammy speaks for all Black women, Robinson for all Black women, we speak from our own personal truths and what we've been through. And I don't like that that narrative on the whole, oh, the Black women. I ain't speaking for not named Black women. I'm speaking for this Black woman right here. And that's just that. Right. That was all I wanted to put. I wanted to say that earlier, but I just now thought about it. And I don't mean no disrespect for anybody. I'm just speaking my truth and what I've been through. I'm not speaking for everybody else.
No, and that's good that you say that, Kiki, and that's why, you know, I always defend all you ladies, because it takes courage to do what you ladies do, whether it's you, whether it's Robin, Tam, all you ladies, to get up here and speak your personal truth. Like Tam talked about, you know, where her anxiety came from. Well, shit, where did mine come from? It takes courage to us to go deep and share. And so, you know, it's cowardly, and it's bitch made for somebody, to criticize you or say anything disparaging about any of y'all. And I take offense to that, because you guys are really helping people and putting your personal experience public. And it takes courage to that. So I'm glad you say that, and I stand with you as I do all these ladies on that. Disrespect is not on the menu for none of y'all. And that's what we're going to say about that.
And that's why I always appreciate it, because, you know, sometimes people want to have a platform to tell a story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The way I deliver stuff, it may not be, you know, the best way to say it, but that's just the way that I know how to say it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And you either gonna feel me or you're not. But the whole disrespectful thing is crazy to me. I love everybody on the platform. Not like no weird shit. I love everybody's personalities. Everybody comes together. I learn a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is at this point.
Yeah, man. Y'all
That's awesome. What I wanted to say.
Well, I'm glad you got it off. Any closing remarks before we get ready to wrap this thing up? Rob, you got anything to say?
No.
Okay.
I'm
All
happy
right,
you
all right,
back.
all right. Robin's chilling. Yeah, we have you back, Robin. You came back with some good energy. I like this Robin. She around found out she got her toes licked. I like this Robin. All right.
I did not. I
With
went on
lamb chop.
vacation. I laughed a whole lot. I learned a lot of different things. Honestly, to be truthful with you, this trip was really very eye-opening for me. Just for me personally. So it took me out of my comfort zone a little bit more, so it was a truly time of reflection for myself, and I learned a little bit more about Robin this time. So it
You
was
definitely appreciated that indoor plumbing when you ain't had to throw your doodle tissues in the garbage.
listen, that's unsanitary. That's disgusting.
Can you imagine? Like, oh
No,
God.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You know what come from back there? That's what I'm saying.
Ain't nobody licking back there. Anyway, that's another conversation. What we go? Okay, let me let Tam. You got anything to add, Tam? I know you got. You good?
Just that my shirts are still on sale, so check out the shirts. Robin has purchased one. Shout out to Robin. Y'all pray for me. I'm in grad school. I got 6 more weeks. Well, 6 more weeks of these classes, and I start more classes in the fall. And I just feel like everybody. This is my takeaway from this whole conversation, guys. I think that everybody has to start doing the work to be the best version, to show up as the best version of themselves in all of their relationships. So I just pray that everybody's doing the work. Like, I am not sitting here as a perfect person, but y'all, I've been doing this work for a long time. I'm telling y'all, when you be single for 10 solid years straight, you have a lot of long. Oh, y'all, you didn't know that part, huh?
Look at Kiki face. I'm weak.
You didn't know, did you?
You didn't know that. Tell me she was like this.
Yeah, no. When you have a lot of time alone to reflect and to look at people's relationships and see what's wrong with their relationships and look at your past relationship, it gives you this time to like be like, bro, this is not what I want no more. And so for me, that's why I'm very big on communication and communicating clearly and honestly. Like, if the truth hurt my feelings, bro. But don't be sitting up here making me look stupid and not telling me what it is. So, but yeah, so I could just admonish everybody that's watching, like, yo, do the freaking work and then be able to catch the red flags. That's it. Do the work.
Good stuff.
Oh yes, so and my glasses still on sale.
Make sure y'all go support and cop Tammy shirts. I know Robin's the podcast jumping off Monday, or you
I might do an impromptu.
Okay.
And that's just to kind of talk about, some of the things that I learned, like I said, but I don't have one really scheduled. So it might be an impromptu live just to talk about what I learned. So yeah.
Well, again, I just want to tell each one of you ladies, thank you, Tam. Thank you for taking time away from studying. I appreciate you making the sacrifice to show up for us every Friday, especially coming back from vacation. Robin, you as well. Thank you for making the sacrifice to join us for 2 hours. Give us your time. I appreciate that. Kiki, words can't express my gratitude for you as well. I appreciate you as well. With all that you're going through personally behind the scenes, y'all keep Kiki in her prayers. Next week, we're going to find out what's Kiki's fascination with playing with booty holes, but we're going to leave that alone for next week. We're going to get to the bottom of this because Tam, this got to stop with her in these showers. But anyway, shout out to the chat. As always.
Do y'all like golden showers?
I do.
Oh, no, y'all gonna do this. We're gonna do golden shower. Tam.
So I thought we
spoke nobody's R. Kelly and me at all.
I love it.
Okay, that's it. That's all I want to know.
You can talk about this next week. Let me write this down.
So on the cliffhanger, Tammy just set up the cliffhanger for next week.
Expect we spoke about this.
Hey, Kiki, write that down. Hey, Big T, get your ass back in here next week, and you and Tony to find out who likes golden showers on my panel, because Kiki like it, and Tammy asked the question, so inquiry minds are gonna want to know next week what the hell is going on.
Probably be doing that.
Ma'am, don't you come for me. I'm gonna be like you. Don't you come for me. Tony G said, I feel you, Tammy. I was in the same book during my military life, single for 10 to 15 years, watching, learning from others' mistakes. Okay, so they feeling Tam. Okay, all right, all right.
Well, I'll be
Uh,
back on what is this next Friday
and
with my little lingerie so we can talk about these golden showers, honey.
yeah, golden shower theme next week. Hey, I love all you guys. The chat
You
as
too.
always. God bless y'all. Be safe, and we are out.